So, Darren Eales spoke publicly for the first time yesterday. So, good morning to you if you're watching this. Hello, little Ferdinand is with me. Don't worry, he has his seatbelt on, so you can't get forward. But Darren Eales has spoken, and finally we've had a bit of clarification, obviously with the club, with the whole thing with the PSR and why they did it and stuff. And Darren Eales had a fantastic interview. If you haven't checked it, it is on the club's website. I urge you to go and check it out after this. We're just going to dissect what he said and break it down a little bit, to be honest with you. So we'll start off with, obviously, they're in Germany, the squad. There is some speculation. Well, it was confirmed, actually. I'll correct myself. It was confirmed that we'll be playing Burnley, but we don't know if it's going to be in Germany or it's going to be in the case of that we'll play it behind closed doors. This bus has not left me hardly any room to get out of here. Thank you. But that's the first thing, the loving life in Germany. Obviously, it's good to get the squad away. A lot of pictures with Joe Linton smiling, which is brilliant. A lot of pictures with Tonali as well. Obviously, he's only going to miss 1 or 2 games at the start of the season. That closed doors game will obviously help him build his match fitness up a little bit. I still think you'll probably not see Tonali really proper probably until October, because he's got to get up to match speed and he's not allowed to even do that at the minute with public games anyway. But obviously the PSR, the whole thing about the title, let's talk about that then. So he mentions obviously the 70 million deadline, Darren Eales, and of course we've seen it on June 30th that was sold Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minteh, 2 of our brightest stars, some people might say. Minteh's never even kicked a ball, so to have a profit, some people might look at that and think, do you know what, we've gained something like a 34-35 million pound profit on him when we bought him, and he's never kicked a ball for us. Some people might say that's good business. I'm on the other side. I think I would have liked to keep him because he's literally, we've been dying for a right winger, and there's a lad who potentially could solve that problem, but it is what it is. We had to sell them, and it was disappointing to see some of our talent go, but otherwise we could have had a point deduction if we didn't hit that criteria, because that was met in the first 2 years of the new ownership. So there you go. And obviously the new year's come in, the PSR year, every year, the July the 1st. So obviously it resets, and we've got, of course, that 70 million that we did or is now out the way. Of course, he's mentioned Darren Eales. We've got the Adidas money coming. We've obviously got the seller stack opening very shortly as well. Player trading, of course, we know that. Contracts also have a say. So every decision that the club make, they have to analyse that now, because effectively Darren Eales was referencing the point of basically in America they have a wage cap, whereas in England he feels that it's effectively similar, because we're not allowed to go crazy and spend the money because of what our incomings are. Dan King obviously was doing the interview with him, and Dan King's asked him about transfers. Darren Eales has openly admitted that we're looking to strengthen. Paul Mitchell, who's recently just come in, will be working closely with Eddie Howe, of course. That was meant to be Dan Ashworth, but we all know what happened there, and obviously we've got a little bit of money off Dan Ashworth, of course, as well. But yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how that relationship grows with Paul Mitchell and, of course, Eddie Howe, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Interesting, the figures that have come into the club. At the time of the takeover, Newcastle were bringing £140 million in. I think, I might be wrong on that, please do correct me. That's just income coming in over the course of 1 year, I believe. I might be wrong on that. But then the following year, that was up to 180, and then up to 250 million, and then they're going to go just over 300 million. So he believes that is incredible success. It's over 30% each year that the club are making that profit. So we're going in the right direction, of course. The Champions League obviously helped last season. It'll be interesting to see next year's stats though, won't it? But question was raised to him about Amanda Staveley, Miadad, and he's obviously thanked them. Obviously he's already seen the fans' reaction to them leaving. I haven't got a gripe with Darren Eales about this, but I do have a small gripe with the club, because it was a short statement and that was it. Considering what they had done for the club and the fans, there was no interviews, there was no video made for them. I just felt it was a bit short. I would have liked to see a lot more. I just felt, I don't know, there was something missing for me. But anyway, let me know how you feel about that, because I generally feel that. I would have liked to seen a little bit more. Obviously, they've had their own personal statement to come out as well on the Instagrams and that, but I don't know. It doesn't sit right with us. Maybe I just wanted to say a final goodbye and what have you. Bloody hell, start this morning, isn't it? Farless rain. What is it with farless rain? Where's my summer? Get me to Japan. The club are delighted with Paul Mitchell. Obviously, Dan King asked him about that, or leading up to that as well. And obviously, they're delighted with what he's done in the game. His track record, obviously, in the Premier League, as well as working with Monaco. And that kind of lined up with bringing in James Bunt, so Paul Mitchell knows well. So maybe it was Paul Mitchell's recommendation for James to come in. James will work with the medical and physio just to make sure that all the players are getting the actual correct treatment, because the amount of injuries that we had last season was just an utter joke with Al Nava. We struggled massively, and it wasn't just that. I think the medical department was seriously criticised, rightly so, and we even seen one of our physios leave, didn't we, towards the end of the season, one of the head guys. But it is an interesting one. Obviously, the finances, he's talked about what Paul Mitchell will work with Eddie Howe, the finances inside of that, and go and find the best recruitment, because that's what Paul Mitchell's effectively role is. He's the go-to guy, and they'll work together so Eddie can focus on the coaching. Let's just hope that England don't go and call him. But I've got a funny feeling, as you would have probably seen Sam's video, I think if he gets approached by England, which is very likely, I can't question him going for an interview. Obviously, his dad has coached England for many, many years under Bobby Robson, under Terry Venables as well. So, but he'll want to be the head coach this time as well. But Eddie Howe has lost a bit of an ally in Amanda and Mia going. But it was a fascinating interview. It was. Have a look at it. It's on the club's YouTube channel. But I just wanted to break that down and have my say. And the thing that stands out for me is the profit that we're making. So it is going in the right direction, because effectively we need more money coming in. Otherwise we can't spend. Do you know what I mean? But the PSR stuff's finally a bit of clarity. I think that's probably the biggest thing for me, is the clarity that's come out, because nobody's spoken from the club and we need to see more of it and transparent. And the club have been, to be fair, for the last couple of years or so. So there we go. Right, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Let me know what you think of the Darren Eales interview. Please do. See you everyone. What's what is a day? Ta-da.